Hey guys, Constance here from Cosmopolitan Cornbread. So, it got chilly again. And we've had some, we've had a wrench thrown in our plans. As far as, there's a hair in my mouth. As far as the animals coming here, the new animals that we are very excited about. Now don't worry, they are still coming. But originally, the family that we were taking the animals from, their house was going to be closing today, which had us like scrambling to get everything ready to make a place for the animals. Well, I messaged her couple days ago just to kind of touch base, confirm that the dates were still solid and everything was still good. And it turns out that their closing date actually got pushed back by a few weeks, which was good because we have gotten a ton of rain in the last week or so. Now, the last couple days it hasn't rained, which is good. But those of you who are new here, our property is up here around the house, and the driveway and stuff is very, very, very level, to the point that it is almost like a saucer. And those who are not new here know that moisture and mud up around the yard area has been a challenge for us every year. Now, out where the animals are, the goat yard, the bigger yard, and all that stuff, they're fine. I intentionally put those animal spaces in parts of the property that drain very well. There's never standing water out there. There might be a little bit of mud like the day after it rains, but it dries out super quickly. That was on purpose, especially for the goats. Goats don't do well with damp, muddy climates. They need dry ground for their hooves, and so they're fine. Now, the gate to get the new animals into their area is over on the far end of the pasture. And realistically, what we wanted to do was to drive the trailer right up to that gate, back up to the gate, and just open it up and put them right in there. Except all the rain. There was no way we could drive the truck and trailer from our driveway around there. No way. And when I'm saying there's a lot of mud, I am not kidding. It takes a long time for that area just off of our driveway to dry out. In the winter, when we're getting a lot of rain, we will literally have like pond algae growing in some of those puddles, because there's a couple puddles that are there just for like months at a time. It's ridiculous. So moving the date back by a couple of days helped us. And one of the things that I did when we bought our property, you know, we have the fence line that's up at the front, and I have been keeping the area along the fence mowed and cleared. And one of the reasons is I knew that there would be points where we may need to drive a vehicle up and around there. And I walked through the other day, even though there was tons of mud up here by the driveway, over there along the fence line, it was hard packed, it was solid. And so I went through yesterday with the chainsaw. I cut any kind of low-hanging limbs, some bigger limbs that I wouldn't want scraping along the trailer and stuff, and cleared it all through there. And so there is plenty of room to get the truck and the trailer from the driveway up by the fence, not where it's muddy, and take it around, and we should still be able to get the animals to the gate where we need to. So, the animals didn't come quite as quickly as we thought they would, but they will still be here very, very soon. Possibly as early as tomorrow. We're still kind of working on that. Now, update on the chickens. I've had several people asking me about the Icelandic chickens. Those are the chickens that we hatched out from eggs. Those were eggs that I'd ordered in the mail, and people were wondering how they were doing. Well, as you know, I hatched them in an incubator. I raised the baby little bitty chicks in a brooder, which was just a big old Rubbermaid container. And when they got too big for that, we moved them out there to the cattle panel structure, which gave them much more room and all of that. But here's the thing. We are evenly split with our numbers. We have 8 that hatched out and thrived and survived. 4 of them are hens and 4 of them are roosters. Now, we are going to try and keep 2 of the roosters. We can't keep all 4. So we will be selling 2 of them. But 2 we're going to try and keep. One of them is my favorite. One of them is Mr. Smith's favorite. And you'll have to pardon my eyes are watering because it's a little cold out here, and I was just like in a bunch of dust. So the Icelandics are doing great. They are all different colored. Many of them have those poofy little mohawk hairdos, and they're adorable. And they also quickly outgrew the cattle panel structure. Now, the other newer chickens, not as new as the Icelandics, but the other newer ones from last spring, we had them in our original coop here. So a couple nights ago, Mr. Smith and I came out here and we moved all of them out of this one into the big chicken coop. And so now they're all housed in that one. There's plenty of room for all of them. I cleaned out the original coop, got it nice and clean, fresh bedding, all of that. And then we went and we moved all of the Icelandics into the original coop to give them a new home. Now, because this was a new space and we wanted to make sure that that is where they knew to sleep, yesterday we kept them locked up in there. We opened the window so they can see and everything, but we kept them in there with their food and water. Normally, I do not ever have food and water inside a coop. That's just kind of a rare exception. So while they were getting used to that and they knew that that's where they needed to live, to sleep, I had it in there. Today, this morning, we opened up the little door and we gave them access to the run that is attached to it. And I don't know if you can see them back there, but they are really enjoying having space to stretch their wings, and they're just like flying the whole length of the run, and they are just loving it. They've got space to scratch and do the things that chickens love to do. Now, when we get a chance to finish this fencing, because as you can see, I still have the electric poultry fencing all around the chicken yard. When we put in the fencing, I decided what we're going to do is I'm actually going to fence off this portion right here, this kind of corner of the chicken yard, and attach it to that run. That way, the Icelandics will have their own chicken yard, and all of the others can have the rest of it. Because, you know, the Icelandic chickens are a rare breed, and I really don't want to mix them with the other chickens. All the rest of our chickens, you know, we've got a barnyard mix. We've got all different breeds, and if you know, we decide to hatch out some of those eggs, we'll have some barnyard crosses, and I'm not too worried about that. But the Icelandics, I really want to protect the breed integrity, and so I really don't want them mixing with all of the other chickens, and so I am going to keep them separate. That way, if I decide to hatch out more, I know that those eggs will be purely Icelandic. So that is the plan. Now I do know also that it probably means I'm going to end up clipping some wings to make sure they don't fly over the fence. But yeah, that's the plan. There is an update on what is going on with the new animals and the Icelandic chickens, and hopefully, fingers crossed, the next vlog I have for all of you will be new animals here at Good Life Farm. So that is it for today. Thanks for joining me out here on a chilly afternoon. My name is Constance from Cosmopolitan Cornbread, and I'll talk to y'all next time. What are y'all doing?